If he's not jabbing, he has no defense. If he's not going to jab, the guy's going to walk right in on him, like he did. Next fight, use your jab, different fight. For the final uppercuts, so he can anticipate the combination. If he was flipping the jab, the guy wouldn't do the combination. When he was jabbing, Canelo should be moving, flipping the jab.
Mike Tyson caught boxing fans off guard when he gave Canelo Alvarez some unexpected advice on how to beat Terence Crawford in their much-anticipated fight. Meanwhile, Crawford shared how excited he is to face another top-level champion like Canelo, promising that their September 13th showdown will be one fans will remember for a long time. Speaking with confidence and energy, Crawford said he's certain the fight will deliver the kind of thrilling action that keeps boxing alive and exciting.
Definitely honored to be in that situation and a position to share the ring with another great. You know, it's going to be a hell of a night come September 13th.
Crawford admitted that both he and Canelo faced criticism after their most recent fights, and he knows fans want to see them bounce back strong. He vowed to be far more aggressive this time, telling people to expect all-out action from the opening bell. For him, this fight isn't just about getting the win, it's about proving he's still one of the most dangerous fighters in the sport.
So is his performance against William Skull, did you take more confidence from that fight?
A lot of people criticized my last performance, so, you know what I mean? We both need to step it up, I guess.
That's one from me, Terence. Obviously, we've seen Turkey Al-Sheikh mention no Tom and Jerry fights. You've said yourself you're going to put it on him, you're going to come for him. Do we see an explosive Terence Crawford that people won't have been expecting to see?
That's why you got to watch the fight so you can see.
I'll get a message to Canelo.
See you soon.
Tyson had a word of caution for Crawford, suggesting he think carefully before taking the fight because of the big size gap. He reminded people that Crawford had a tough time against the bigger, awkward Israel Madrimov, and said those kinds of disadvantages could be a serious issue against a strong, skilled fighter like Canelo Alvarez.
What do you think about Terence Crawford calling out Canelo?
You know, I don't like that fight.
Why not?
I don't like that fight. It's just too much weight, you know. And he had a close fight with the last guy he fought, Terence, but this guy was big and he was awkward. He was really awkward. He shouldn't have fought that guy. He should have fought a guy that would just come straight at him. The guy was too awkward.
He's herky-jerky, yeah.
Tyson also gave Canelo a straight piece of advice: make the jab his main weapon. He explained that a sharp, consistent jab could disrupt Crawford's rhythm, slow down his attacks, and open the door for heavier punches later on. Tyson said this basic but often overlooked tactic might be the key to breaking through Crawford's game plan.
If he's not jabbing, he has no defense. If he's not going to jab, the guy's going to walk right in on him, like he did. Next fight, use your jab, different fight. Jab. When he was jabbing, Canelo should be moving, flipping the jab for the final uppercuts. So he can anticipate the combination. If he was flipping the jab, the guy wouldn't do the combination.
Former contender Gabe Rosado said he's leaning toward Canelo mostly because of the style matchup. He recalled how William Skull's awkward movement made Canelo fight at a measured pace, saving energy for the right moments. Rosado also pointed out that Madrimov's size and power caused Crawford problems at 154 pounds, warning that going up to 168 against Canelo is a much bigger and more dangerous challenge. 6.
Madrimov did give Crawford problems. I favor Canelo, not by a lot, but I do favor him. I just think that, you know, I think the Skull fight was just a bad style. And I think Canelo was like, why force the issue? You know what I mean? I'm up, this guy's running, I'm not gonna take a chance. So I think that it was that kind of fight for Canelo. But Madrimov did give Crawford problems, you know what I'm saying? And where I felt like, damn, at 54, he gave you problems. 68 is different.
On the other hand, seems completely focused and mentally ready. His camp has been all about sharpening his skills, increasing intensity, and sticking to a strict game plan. Every sparring session and conditioning workout is designed for Canelo's unique blend of power and skill. People around his camp say he's locked in with no distractions as he prepares for the biggest fight of his career.
You have to be relentless. You have to never let off the gas, never stop, never quit. Never allow anyone to talk you out of the dream, the vision, and ideas. And understand that for every level, there's another devil. It is the devil's job to create challenges, issues, and conflicts, insecurities, fear, because he wants to put you to a test. But I can tell you now, I piss the devil off every day because I just don't stop. And the devil is so mad. This guy, doesn't matter if he gets sick, it doesn't matter what happens to his money or his finances, every time he gets out of his bed and he's on a mission to get it done.
And as you begin to look at your life,
Trainer Jose Benavidez Sr. didn't hold back, saying Crawford isn't quite the same as he once was. He pointed to what he sees as slower reflexes, less punching power, and weaker footwork. He predicted that Canelo would push for a knockout, forcing Crawford to rely on quick bursts and movement just to keep up. In his eyes, one mistake from Crawford could be enough to end the fight.
Crawford has not been looking really good. We saw how he looked in his past fight. So Canelo, you know, like I said, you know, the reflex are not there, you know, this power is not there. The knees are not the same. So Canelo's going to try to knock him out, but Crawford's going to do what he does best. He's going to move around, try to win the rounds, touch him, and move, you know. I think if Crawford stays, Canelo can knock him out, you know, because Canelo's the bigger guy. I don't think Crawford's going to come and give the fans what they want, you know. He don't care, you know, he's just going to come and win and beat him. I don't know if they're going to give it to him, but it's just going to be a Tom and Jerry fight.
British fighter Jack Catterall gave both men credit as elite boxers but slightly favored Crawford. He said if Crawford wins, it shouldn't be seen as an upset because his skill and adaptability give him a real shot against almost anyone in boxing.
I've been changing my mind, chopping and changing. Two tremendous fighters in their own right. I won't call it an upset, but I'm going for a Crawford victory.
Virgil Ortiz said he doesn't see Crawford beating Canelo because of the big weight jump, pointing out that Crawford is moving up 3 divisions to face one of the best. He did praise Crawford's smarts and skill,
talent, but
still feels Canelo's strength, size, and sharpness give him the edge. Ortiz brought up Canelo's check hook against Baranga as proof he still has top-tier timing.
He admitted Crawford could win. And if that happened, Ortiz would rank him as his number one fighter ever.
I think he is, but if he beats Canelo, he'll be like my number one fighter of all time.
You don't think Crawford beats Canelo?
I don't think so. And look, hear me out. I respect Crawford and everything that he's doing, but he just moved up from 147, so I'm just gonna treat him as a 147 pounder. He's jumping up 3 weight classes to fight someone who was like the number one fighter in all of boxing, you know. The jump would be hard, even if it was just like some top 10,
right, yeah.
You know.
Bud, would you say he's a very smart fighter?
Yes.
Very calculated,
yes.
Right? Don't you think that maybe he sees something that most people aren't seeing?
I think he does, but the thing is he gonna be able to even like to capitalize on it? Because he's a smaller fighter, and look, I think people are thinking at the aspect of can Crawford do it? Yes, I think he can do it.
Veteran trainer Robert Garcia warned about the risks of putting on too much muscle for this fight. He said the added weight could slow Crawford's movement, hurt his combinations, and take away the qualities that make him special. Garcia compared it to Floyd Mayweather's approach, how Floyd beat bigger opponents with skill, timing, and intelligence rather than...
With Crawford, I think gaining too much weight and too much muscle might affect them. If they're thinking of surviving and being able to take a punch and being able to go rounds, then they're trying to maybe go the distance and they'll be happy with that. But I think Crawford's natural talent, Mayweather had it, you know, you guys were just mentioning right now, that Mayweather never needed to gain weight and never needed to be heavy to be able to beat those bigger guys. I think Crawford's skills, we give Crawford a chance because we know how good he is, how, you know, his skills, his speed, his combinations. But if he's gaining so much weight, he might not be able to do those. He might not be able to have those same skills when it comes to his speed, his footwork, because of the weight. So
Abel Sanchez praised both fighters for their smarts and skills, but leaned toward Canelo because of his size and defense. He pointed out that Canelo has taken big punches from hard hitters like Gennady Golovkin, Dmitry Bivol, and Sergey Kovalev without breaking down. Sanchez also mentioned that Crawford tends to get hit more, even at 154, and said no matter how sharp he looks or how much weight he adds, Canelo's size and strength are a different kind of challenge.
Well, first of all, Terence Crawford is a great fighter, but so is Canelo. I think that, in my opinion, their IQ is similar, except Canelo doesn't get hit like Crawford gets hit. In my opinion, Canelo's a bigger man. Not that he started out as a bigger man, but he's now a bigger man. He has been hit by not only Gennady, who's one of the biggest punchers that I've ever seen, but he's also been hit by Bivol, by Kovalev, who's a big puncher. You know, he's been hit by big guys. Crawford had a hard time with a 154-pounder who hit him often. So I think that no matter how much weight he puts on, no matter how smart he thinks he is or how big he thinks he is, he's going to be getting hit by a truck.
Former multi-division champion Shane mostly confidently picked Canelo to win. While he respects Crawford's ability to beat anyone, he believes Canelo will come out on top. Mostly said he'd be glad to see Canelo win on September 13th and doesn't expect it to be too much trouble. In his view, as long as Canelo sticks to his usual style, his power and experience at 168 pounds will make the difference.
It'll be a great fight. I think both guys are great fighters, but I think Canelo's just too big, and you know they mistake him as being just a guy at 168, not a regular guy, and Crawford being the more talented. But that's not the case. They're both talented. Yeah. But the only thing is Canelo has them by 2 weight divisions. So I think that Canelo beats him pretty easily, but we'll see. If Crawford does good, I mean, kudos to Crawford. You know, I'm happy for him. If he can pull off, great. But my mentor, my mind's telling me that Canelo's gonna probably be.
Sergio Mora said that as the fight gets closer, he now sees it as a true 50-50th matchup. He described Crawford as a dangerous, confident fighter who's built himself into a solid middleweight frame. While Mora first favored Canelo, he now thinks Crawford has a real chance to outbox him, land clean shots, and make Canelo show his age. He believes Crawford could deliver the fight of his life and turn it into a historic night.
And I just think, ultimately, Crawford just is a mean mofo. This dude, mean. Yeah. I mean, I met Bud a couple of times. You know, he pulls me aside and starts, he gives me that look. He's a mean, intimidating dude, man. Yeah. And then I've been seeing how he's been growing into the frame. He's gotten big. He's gotten muscular, and he's looking more like a middleweight, super middleweight. I just, man, the closer the fight gets, the more I'm looking at Crawford like, this dude might do something, man. Because all along I haven't changed my tune. I say Canelo's gonna win this fight, but he's not gonna come out of it unscathed. I can see him being bruised up, battered, maybe a little bit of blood, but his size is gonna come in the end. Now I'm starting to change my tune. I can maybe see the day that we've seen Canelo finally get old, no excuses, just Crawford pot-shotting him, having the night of his life, and we just watch something great. I can visualize it, man. So the closer this fight gets, the more that I'm looking at it like a 50-50 fight.
Abdullah Mason believes Crawford has a solid shot at winning and could surprise people with his strength. But in the end, he says it will depend on who's sharper on fight night and better prepared overall.
I got faith that Crawford could take it. I got faith in Crawford. I feel like Crawford, he might surprise some people with his strength. So it all depends on who's the better fighter that night and who prepared, better.
Roy Jones Jr. said he's not concerned about the size difference between Canelo and Crawford because true skill works at any weight. He believes Crawford is so technically sound that size won't be the deciding factor. For Roy, the main question is whether Crawford can handle the power at this higher weight. He thinks he can, having sparred with bigger men like super middleweights and light heavyweights. Roy explained that real skill grows with a fighter as they move up. It's not about size, it's about talent and technique.
When you know how to box, when you're as skillful as Terence Crawford is, weight don't really matter much. Only thing that matters with the weight is can you take the punch? And I'm sure you've been sparring with super middles and light heavies, so I'm sure you probably can take the punch. So that's the only thing when you got skill. Now if you don't have a skill, you can't take the weight, take it up, because you're gonna lose your punch, you're gonna lose everything. When you got skill, all your stuff that you have goes up with you. You talk to the GOAT. I went out with a heavyweight.
No, it's a lot of the people, which is why I brought up, would use the weight as an advantage for Canelo. But I agree, and you're right. Canelo fights obviously taller fighters all the time and wins. It's about skill as opposed to, a lot of the time anyway, as opposed to weight.
Yeah, well, like I said, I'm not really worried about the weight. I worry about the skill level that they use.
Ryan Norman Sr. is firmly backing Crawford to beat Canelo, saying he's learned never to bet against him after losing money in the past. Now convinced, Norman called Crawford a smart and dangerous fighter. Having seen him up close, he believes Crawford always finds a way to win. He dismissed the idea that beating Canelo is unrealistic, insisting Crawford's talent makes it entirely possible.
I got Crawford. I'm sorry. I was about to say Canelo. Where'd that come from? I got Crawford. I got Crawford, man. I learned to not bet against Crawford. I won't bet against Crawford again. I lost a lot of money betting against Crawford. So, you know, those days of my life are over with. I've drunk the Kool-Aid.
You're a believer now.
I'm a believer now. Yeah. Crawford is that guy, man. Crawford is that guy. I'm drinking the Kool-Aid, and you know, I've seen Crawford personally. I've seen him in the ring personally, and I mean, he a bad man. He a bad man. So I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna have to say, just like with my son, I'm gonna have to say, just with the boxing IQ, with it's certain things, man. It's certain things. I think that Crawford is gonna figure out a way to win. I don't think this is so. I don't think for how some people are looking at this, I don't think it's so far-fetched that Crawford can beat him. I just don't see that so far-fetched as some people trying to make it.
Ryan Garcia said that while anything can happen when two great fighters meet, he doesn't think Crawford will beat Canelo. He admitted Crawford might prove him wrong, but believes the size difference will matter a lot. Garcia, who has trained with Canelo, said Canelo is strong enough to handle heavyweights and that this is the first time in a while he'll be the naturally bigger man. He thinks that will let Canelo fight more comfortably. While respecting Crawford's skills, Garcia said his money is still on Canelo.
Two great fighters, great things can happen. But I could see even Crawford getting knocked out like Amir Khan style though.
Do you give Terence Crawford any chance to beat Canelo?
I don't see it happening, but he could definitely prove me wrong. But I just think, bro, like, I mean, I've trained with Canelo, I've been around him. Bro can really push back heavyweight. So I don't know how he's like, because this is the first time Canelo's actually bigger than somebody in a long time. So it's like the weights are lifted off, and now he could fight even more freely, you know? So I'm actually interested to see, bro. I can't wait for the fight. I'm definitely going to be backing Canelo, but, you know, Crawford is a great fighter, and he could surprise me. But right now, where I would put my money is Canelo.
Lonnie B is still confident Canelo will win and hasn't changed his mind. He expects the early rounds to be competitive, but thinks Canelo will take over as the fight goes on. While he respects Crawford's ability, Lonnie pointed out that Israel Madrimov gave him trouble. He also said moving from 160 to 168 will be tough.
I think you favored Canelo to win the fight.
Yeah.
Has anything changed from then? Is it now closer?
No.
Has it not changed?
Nope.
Nothing.
I think it's going to be a good fight for the first 4 rounds. I think Canelo's size just going, you know, take over. Like I said, I could be wrong. Crawford's phenomenal. But from what I've seen with the kid Maktrinoff and the way he gave him trouble moving up 2 more weight classes, 60 to 68, and Canelo going to come in about 200 pounds. You know, I just think I don't think Canelo's never been stopped, and I don't think he's going to be able to keep Canelo off of him.